Hey everybody, here's Tia DeShay. This is a mirrored moment message with Tia DeShay. I am Tia DeShay. I write now so others can remember later. I produce purpose from chaos. I'm a spiritual teacher for social, generational, and personal change. It is my intention to fulfill the scriptural mandates of Jeremiah 1:9 and Revelation 10:11, and also for Matthew, the 13th chapter and the 35th verse, to unfold in my life, ministry, and practice. Today is Saturday, April the 16th, and it is 4:47 p.m. And this is Guiding Spirit Part 4. I just want to clarify some things in this video because I sat and I listened to the first video to this 4-part video series. One, growing up as a Jehovah's Witness, I was at the Kingdom Hall on Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. Thursdays we weren't at the Kingdom Hall. We usually had smaller Bible study in someone else's house. But those were the 3 days that we came together as a unit, as a group, as a congregation, on Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday. And then on Saturdays, we did door to door. So you're talking about 4 days out of the week in my childhood that I was involved in organized religion. And then not counting the days where at home we had Bible study, where our father would have Bible study with me and my siblings. So we're talking about 5 days out of a 7-day week where it was just organized religion with me growing up. And then when I became, any church that I became a member of, I became a member. And it probably has something to do with my birth chart in Capricorn, my sun sign in Capricorn, rising Capricorn, Venus in Capricorn. But if I thought enough to become a member of anybody's church, then I committed myself. I was loyal and I gave 100%. So I volunteered in the church. I helped out in the church. I was an active member and participant in the church. Whenever there were services, I was there, on Sundays, or services during the week, or services for holidays. I was there. Prayer, visuals, I was there. I was there. So if I was not working, if I wasn't in school, because I was in grad school, when I went back to organized religion, even though I thought when I left home, or when I was kicked out of the home at 16, at that time I thought I was done with religion. I'm not going back, but God had a different plan, because I ended up going back to organized religion for a while. I was always involved in it. I was always an active member, an active participant, always volunteering my time. So if I was not in school, because at the time I was in grad school, if I was not taking classes, doing homework, if I was not at work, at the time I was a high school English teacher in Detroit, if I wasn't doing something related to work, like lesson planning or any other assignment or duties I had related to work, I was involved in church. That was my life. So out of that experience, I did develop dedication. I developed commitment. I always felt, even as a Jehovah's Witness at a young age, I felt like if you're going to believe in something, know what you believe in. Know your doctrine. Regardless if other people think it's false, or they find holes in it, or discrepancies in it, that's neither here nor there. If you're going to commit to any religion, to any spiritual practice, I learned from my religious experiences that you better know your shit. And I know I'm cussing talking about religion, but I knew that from a young age. Like, you better know your shit. You better know what you believe in and can defend it. If you're going to commit to it, if you're going to become a member of that particular religion. So I made sure I knew my stuff. And that's why even to this day, I know the Bible. I'm not going to say I know everything, because I think the Bible is inexhaustible. The revelation and the wisdom and the knowledge that you can glean from it, that you can get from it. The Bible is just one of those books, like, it's a classic. And like, it'll be talked about and studied and dissected 10,000 years from now, because there's so much wisdom and knowledge and hidden gems in it that hasn't even been touched yet. And I still study it to this day. And it's like, if you go, like I said, if you're going to commit to any spiritual practice, you better know it. You better know it, and really know what you're embracing and what you're believing in. And that is why I'm always learning in my craft. I'm always learning, because I'm like, if I'm going to associate myself with this, I better know it. And that's what being in religion taught me. It taught me commitment. It taught me making things a priority, making my spiritual life a priority. But it also taught me that it's not the religion itself, but it's people. People will always, if they're allowed to, pervert it and get and cause you to turn away from it. Like I said, all of the churches that I was a member of and participated and engaged in, I have nothing negative to say. It's the people. It was the people. It was the people. The vision that the founders of those particular churches had, they were true to it. They were men and women of integrity. And you could tell that that's what God had called them to do. You could tell that. And they were fulfilling the assignment of God on their life. It's just the people. It's just the people. And I've just learned, even in where I'm at now with my spiritual practice, that I can't be concerned with the people, because people gonna be people. People are going to take things and twist it and run a totally different direction than the original intended vision of that particular religious organization or ministry. Also, the reason why I only mentioned the name of 2 of the 3 churches is because the Shrine of the Black Madonna, what I do now, I feel as if I pretty much know, I pretty much can guarantee that they would not have issue with me being connected to them, doing me being connected to them at one time, and I'm doing what I'm doing now, because that church is based on Pan-Africanism, and what I do is based on African traditions and African cultures. So that's why I mentioned their names. The other 2 churches, I don't mention their names. I didn't mention their names because they're non-denominational, and I don't want people to think that they, quote unquote, taught me to do what I'm doing, or they were somehow instrumental in doing what I'm doing, like somehow they preach on the pulpit to do what I'm doing. And I know that they didn't, because it's Christianity and it's the Bible from their perspective and their interpretation. So that's why I don't mention their names, because they did not encourage me from their teachings to do what I'm doing. What they did encourage me to do is to have a relationship with God, to have my own personal relationship with God, and to read the Bible, to not take their word for it, to read it for myself, and to get direct knowledge, wisdom, and revelation from God. That's what they did teach me, and they taught me how to pray. And in one of the churches, I did receive the gift of the Holy Spirit with evidence of speaking in tongues. So that's what I gained from their from being involved and engaged in their ministries. They did provide me a very solid foundation with the Bible, and I still incorporate and lean on the wisdom of the Bible to this day in my spiritual practices. So I wanted to make that clear. I just felt like I needed to clarify that. In the other videos, I'm gonna go back and listen to them, but that I really wanted to make clear about, to give you some perspective about my time with religion and how dedicated I was to it. And it gives you perspective on why I approach my spiritual practice the way I do now. Yeah. So I think that's it. That's all. So this has been another mirrored moment message with Tia DeShay. Remember, pay attention to what you don't see, because what you don't see will help you make sense of what you are seeing. And right when I said that, I would like to say I am in no way, shape, or form against organized religion. I believe that I think everybody needs to have some type of foundation that in religion or spirituality, some type of structured foundation in religion or spirituality in your life, because it teaches you discipline. It teaches you how to tap into the divine power within you. It teaches you how to survive, how to weather the storms of life. I think one of the reasons why there are so many people, especially young people, suffering from anxiety and having panic attacks and going through fear and desperation and just can't seem to function, is because they weren't grounded in some type of spiritual practice. Like, they weren't forced to go to church. In a way, being forced to go to church, growing up the way I did as a Jehovah's Witness, was a very good thing, because it taught me that when things get hard, how to tap. At the time, I was taught to tap into a God outside of myself, and that was fine. Either way, I was still taught the concept of, when things get hard, how you tap into the divine power to learn how to navigate this particular situation in your life that's challenging. And I know that that's what's missing with a lot of young people, and that's why it's so many young people suffering from anxiety, because their parents, and I get it, because I explained it in my videos, had issues with the church, and ministers, and pastors and bishops being dishonest, and I get it. And so they didn't raise their children in the church, but you didn't give them any type of spiritual foundation, nothing. So they're void of knowing how to, like I said, weather storms in their life from a spiritual point of view. So I do not knock organized religion. If that's what you do, if that's what keeps you sane, if that is what helps you navigate the storms of life, then so be it. So be it. I shared my story because I know there are people out there who they know it's more, especially Black people, who they know it's more. They know that the religion that they're in is not enough for them. It's just not doing it for them on a cultural level, on a spiritual level. It's not doing it for them, and they're interested in what I'm doing, but it's the fear of being ostracized and your family saying, oh, that's of the devil and all of that. But that's why I share my story, to let you know what led up to me being where I am now. Like, I had to go through those experiences of organized religion to be where I'm at now, because I needed the tools. It was a lot of tools that I was given in organized religion that I needed for now. And it connects. Once you really start getting, as a Black person, you really start investigating and connecting to your indigenous spiritual practices, you realize that Christianity came from your indigenous spiritual practices. They got it from your people. And they just, like I said, it's people. They perverted it and twisted it to fit their agenda. So that's the reason I shared my story, to let people know who, are like thinking about it or being led to it, that all of your experiences were not for nothing, and that you can still find value in those religious experiences, and you can see how they're playing out, and how they will play out if you choose to go the path of your ancestors as far as spirituality, your forefathers as far as spirituality. You'll see how it is all connected anyway, and how following the spirituality of your forefathers, your ancestors, is way more fulfilling than where you are now. So this has been Tia DeShay. This has been another mirrored moment message with Tia DeShay. Remember, pay attention to what you don't see, because what you don't see will help you make sense of what you are seeing. And until next time, be blessed.